It's movie night tonight on Strictly, all the glitz and glamour of the big screen here on BBC One from 7 o'clock. But now, time for Final Score.
Relegation.
He was one of the heroes of the afternoon.
Applause from the away supporters. The latest score is Wimbledon through to the Premier.
John Terry's tears, we all remember. It was through a crucial week.
Hello, welcome to Final Score. All the goals as they go in over the next half hour or so in the company of Garth, Crooks and Matt Holland. One early game in the Barclays Premier League took place at St Alex, likely to leave the club in January. Here's what's going on at the moment. Blackburn leads Swansea 3-2 thanks to a hat-trick from Yakubu. If it stays that way, Steve Kean's side will move off the bottom. However, Luke Moore has just pulled one back for Swansea. Ewood Park is a very nervous place at the moment. Meanwhile, the Premier League leaders, Manchester City, are on course for a 12th win in 14 games. The goals at the Etihad have come from Sergio Aguero, Samir Nasri and Yaya Toure against Norwich. QPR are 1-0 up on West Brom. The informed Heider Helgeson has got the only goal at Loftus Road. Bolton are suffering at White Hart Lane. They are 3-0 down. Gareth Bale, Aaron Lennon and Jermaine Defoe have all scored. Gary Cahill was sent off in the first half. You will hear a lot more of that in the next 25 minutes. And Spurs North London rivals Arsenal are also cruising against Lancashire opposition. Mikel Arteta, Thomas Vermaelen and Gervinho mean that Arsene Wenger's men are 3-0 up at Wigan. Let's get more details on all of those scores now, shall we? We'll start at Manchester City. Damian Johnson is watching them overrun Norwich.
Yes, 3-0 goals from Sergio Aguero, Samir Nasri and Yaya Toure have set the leaders on course for another victory that would extend their lead at the top of the table. Aguero outfoxed a posse of defenders in the box before finishing with a little poke home. Nasri's floated free kick, not dealt with by Norwich defenders or keeper John Ruddy, went straight in. Yaya Toure just curled in a third goal. It might be different if Steve Morrison hadn't squandered two early chances for Norwich. Kolo Toure looked really wobbly at the back on his first start of the season in the Premier League for City. But City are in control here, 3-0.
Next to Ewood Park, a very, very nervous Ewood Park. James Mason.
Indeed it is, Mark, and it shouldn't be, should it really? They were 3-1 up only moments ago until Luke Moore's second for Swansea. It's Blackburn 3, Swansea 2, as you know. A hat-trick for Blackburn's informed striker. Yakubu has given his struggling side a slender lead with only, 16 minutes of the game left. His first came midway through the first half, finishing off a wonderful passage of play as he struck a shot first time to make it 1-0. But less than 15 minutes later, Swansea were back level as they could go level again. No, Scott Sinclair firing just over the bar, so it remains 3-2. I was just mentioning Leroy Lita equalised for Swansea, but two goals from Yakubu, one just before half-time and a second just after, put Blackburn into a 3-1 lead. And Luke Moore's goal just, 5 or 6 minutes ago has really made it, as you say, Mark, a nervous place at 3-2.
Marvin Sordell's 7th of the season, his 6th in the league, means Watford are back on level terms at Portman Road. Ipswich 1, Watford 1. At Bramall Lane, where it looked like there'd be a shock in the FA Cup, League 2 Torquay were leading League 1 Sheffield United, but a Mark Ellis own goal means it's our Sheffield United 1, Torquay 1. Burnley have come from behind at Upton Park. West Ham were a goal up, but Sam Vokes has now put them 2-1 up. It's the oldest manager in the Championship against the youngest manager in the Championship at West Ham. Next, back to the Premier League, to White Hart Lane. Spurs against Bolton. Spurs comfortably ahead, Jonathan Ledyard, but all the talk will be about a dreadful refereeing decision.
Yes, two decisions. Bolton smarting from the first half dismissal of Gary Cahill after just 18 minutes. Stuart Atwell got that completely wrong. No way was Scott Parker, who went tumbling, was he in a goal-scoring position. And then in the second half, Spurs had a perfectly good penalty claim dismissed after Asio Koto looked to have been fouled by Kevin Davis. Just a few moments ago, Jermaine Defoe hit the post, so it should have been 4-0. As it is, Gareth Bale dedicating his first half opener to Gary Speed, his former Welsh international manager. His boots have been inscribed with the words Gary Speed RIP. And then in the second half, after a quite brilliant display of goalkeeping by Jaska Lionel, Lennon and Defoe eventually beat him, and we're just going through the motions now as Spurs head towards second place in the Premier League.
Chid Evans' third FA Cup goal this season, his 10th of the season, means Sheffield United have really turned it round against Torquay. Sheffield United 2, Torquay 1, and League 2 Dagenham and Redbridge have fallen behind to League 1 Walsall in the FA Cup. Claude Napka with that goal, 14 minutes from time. Arsenal are running riot this afternoon at the DW Stadium. Another goal for Richard Askham to tell us about.
Yes, Chappers, Robin van Persie with his 18th of the season. That's 14 now in the Premier League. He scored after excellent work from Theo Walcott, who broke away. Good strength from Walcott as well. He pulled the ball back to Van Persie, who knocked it past Ali Al-Habsi with his right foot. Van Persie, one of several players who've been excellent today for Arsenal. Early on, Wigan were really pushing them hard. Jordi Gomez had an excellent chance for the Latics, but that went begging, and with that probably went Wigan's chances. Arsenal scored in that first 45 through Mikel Arteta early on, a 25-yarder, then Thomas Vermaelen with a header at the back post, and again in this half through Gervinho. Wigan really chasing shadows, and Arsenal in top form. They lead by 4-0.
2 goals in 4 minutes for Watford at Portman Road. Ipswich on a losing run of 6 games. It'll be 7 then if that scoreline stays the same. Troy Deeney got the second one for Sean Dyche's men. The Division 1 leaders in Scotland, Ross County now 4-2 up on Wraith. York 7-0 up on Kettering in the Blue Square Bet Premier, and confirmation there of Robin van Persie's goal for Arsenal at Wigan. And League 2 Southend, the League 2 leaders have equalised against Oldham in the FA Cup. Oldham of League 1, Southend 1, Oldham 1. One Premier League game that we haven't been to yet at Loftus Road, QPR against West Brom. Mark Webber.
Yeah, QPR 1, West Brom 0. And my goal of the month. This game was likely to provide match of the day's gaff of the month. Joey Barton will get some Twitter ribbing for his second half miss. Only Ben Foster to beat. He blazed the ball wide to the right so far. It nearly hit the London eye. But he can seek some solace in Sean Wright-Phillips' miss sitter as well. Trying to be clever. He tried to scissor kick an open goal, but that went wide. Saying that, the hunger for goals is clearly there with QPR. The chip shot from Barton found Heider Helgeson's head for the goal, and Wright-Phillips had a great cross-body shot in the net, adjudged offside. Short spell of Maggie's pressure, could have got an equaliser, but they just can't finish in front of the goal. QPR 1, West Brom 0.
In the Championship, Barnsley were 3-0 up at Peterborough. Peterborough got it back to 3-3, and as you can see, there has now been a 7th goal of the afternoon at London Road. Andrew James.
And Mark, I've had a few moments to think about it. You always go on and say things like goal of the season contender. In the Football League, this will be a goal of the season contender. Craig Davis, the former Chesterfield top scorer from last season, got the ball wide on the right, absolutely flew into the top left-hand corner. Nothing that Joe Lewis could do in the Peterborough goal. He's been brought in today for his first start of the season. He was 3-0 down some 10 minutes into the second half. O'Brien, Butterfield and Vaz Tay with the Barnsley goals, but Boyd, Bennett and Frecklington for Posh got 3 goals in 6 minutes after a treble substitution, but now it's swung back Barnsley's way. Peterborough 3, Barnsley 4.
6 of the season for Craig Davis. Let's go back to Loftus Road, because one end of the ground is celebrating a goal. Which end? Mark Webber.
Boing, boing, boing. Queen's Park Rangers 1, West Bromwich Albion 1. They've brought their shooting boots at last. Jerome Thomas on the left, narrow cross in. Shane Long looked like he'd been running out of time to nick it in, but he wasn't. He was there, right by the post. Tap in. QPR 1, West Bromwich Albion 1.
There's an awful lot to talk about in the Premier League, but I haven't got time to say it. You two might just sit there like lemons for the whole afternoon at this rate, because I've got to go back to the Etihad Stadium. Damien Johnson, another goal.
Yeah, interesting all of a sudden, because Norwich have pulled one back. It's Steve Morrison who's scored it. The ball floated in from the left-hand side. There was Morrison, typical target man, rising at the back post, and he found the corner of the net low past Joe Hart, and that is his 5th goal of the season. He's now Norwich City's leading scorer. Are we going to see a fight back? 3-1 City.
Still can't talk to them because there's been a red card at Ewood Park. James Mason.
Yes, there has. Swansea are now down to 10 men. We're just watching the replay as, yes, it's Joe Allen who's been sent off for Swansea, pulling Junior Hoylett back. Hoylett looked like he was going to race through into the deep into the Swansea half. He was still inside his own half, as we have a penalty to Blackburn Rovers. Goodness me, the drama is surrounding Ewood Park this afternoon, and it looks like, well, it's the masked Gail Givet, who looks like Zorro with a mask across his face, who's been brought down. Chris Foy had no hesitation in pointing to the spot, and it's Henrik Pedersen who's been quick to pick the ball up and give it to the Yakubu. Yakubu, of course, Mark, has already scored 3 goals this afternoon, and in fact in my quick stats I make it 9 goals from the Nigerian striker in 9 starts, a couple of substitution appearances as well. There's some boos around Ewood Park because Michael Vorm, the Swansea goalkeeper, is just playing around at the moment. Chris Foy is suggesting he gets on his line, the Dutch goalkeeper. Chris Foy is making every player stand back behind the white lines as Yakubu, hands on his hips, has scored 3 already. Could this be 4? And surely 3 points for Steve Keen's men. Steps up and scores a wonderful penalty from Yakubu, his 4th goal of the season. The players jump on him, and Blackburn Rovers fans are now united in their cheers. Earlier on they were booing. They booed after Yakubu scored his 1st goal. To a man and woman now, they're all jumping around and cheering. It's Blackburn Rovers 4, Swansea 2.
4 for the season. 4th of the game, sorry, for Yakubu. 7th of the season for Dagenham Redbridge's John Nurse. They're level against Walsall in the FA Cup. Dagenham Redbridge won, Walsall won. That penalty, Matt Holland, was taken like a man who was already on a hat-trick.
Very, very cool, wasn't it? Yeah, he sent the goalkeeper the wrong way. I mean, he's been a great signing for Blackburn, you have to say. And a fantastic result for Steve Keen as well, who's under real pressure.
They will be 18th this evening if everything stays as it is. Let's talk about the decision at White Hart Lane. Bolton will be 19th this evening. Yeah. Their cause not helped by a poor decision to send Gary Cahill off in the first half.
Well, you're being very kind to Stuart Atwell. I thought it was a shocking decision. It was his first... Well, I thought it was a booking at best. Certainly Cahill was late, but he wasn't reckless. It wasn't dangerous. And I've seen much worse this afternoon.
We have a real problem with consistency from referees, and today we've seen 2 very poor decisions in my eyes. I think David Luiz should have been sent off for Chelsea at Newcastle when he
brought down Demba Ba 2 yards outside the box.
He was on the edge of the box. Demba Ba was in a clear goal-scoring opportunity. He was brought down and he gave him a yellow card, the referee. Spurs, Gary Cahill on the edge of the on the halfway line, plays himself into a bit of trouble. Scott Parker nicks it, he brings him down, quite clearly a foul, quite clearly a yellow card, but it's not a clear goal-scoring opportunity. So for me, today has been about 2 bad decisions from referees.
And at half-time, Owen Coyle confronted Stuart Atwell on the pitch, and it's very difficult not to sympathise with that.
And Owen Coyle is not an unreasonable fella. I mean, but he was so incensed with the decision, he had to go onto the pitch, and he told Atwell in no uncertain terms what he thought.
Laurie Sanchez, the Barnet manager, taking on the side that used to be Wimbledon, I suppose you could say. Barnet 0, MK Dons 2 now in the FA Cup. Charlie McDonald with the 2nd goal there for Carl Robinson's men into the Championship. And there could be a shock here because the leaders are struggling at the keep moat. Ivan Gaskell.
Yes, they are. And Doncaster have around 6 minutes left to hang on here. And hang on perhaps might be the right expression in the next 5 minutes because Southampton are now desperately pushing forward for an equaliser. But credit to Doncaster, all the stats were against them here. They've only won 1 in 2 months. Bottom of the table, 29 points behind the leaders at start of play. This is what they would have described in the old days of pools as a bit of a coupon wrecker, potentially. Can they see it out? Great goal from Billy Sharp after fine work from Fortune in the second half, an hour in. Can they see it through? The locals have suffered in recent months. Dean Saunders says, patience, bear with me, I'll get it right for you. He's getting it right so far today, and they're on the verge of their first win at home against Southampton in 52 years. Think of that.
I will do. Not for very long, but I will do. The last time Shrewsbury beat Rotherham in the FA Cup was 1983. The score that day was 2-1. It's the same this afternoon now, thanks to a Nicky Rowe penalty. Ched Evans' 2nd of the afternoon means Sheffield United have turned it round against Torquay. They now lead by 3-1. And with Southampton losing in the Championship at Doncaster, it's a chance for West Ham to capitalise and maybe go top. Except they're losing. Mark Bishop.
Looks as if they've truly muffed it, Chappers, doesn't it? West Ham 1, Burnley 2. Incredible scoreline coming in from Upton Park. Eddie Howe's side looking to win their first league match here at Upton Park for the first time since 1973. West Ham with only themselves to blame, totally in control for the first 45 minutes and right up until Kevin Nolan's exquisite lob put the Hammers ahead, and then for some explicable reason the home side took their foot completely off the pedal. First Burnley skipper Chris McCann headed the visitors level from Trippier's delightful cross deep out on the right hand side. West Ham hadn't learned their lesson. This time substitute Sam Vokes at the far side whipped in a great corner. What a header from the substitute Sam Vokes to put Burnley ahead. Collison and Cole have both hit the post for West Ham. Wallace has headed Piquion's effort off the line. West Ham throwing everything at Burnley. They're holding on, and West Ham looking about to suffer their first league defeat since October the 18th. West Ham 1, Burnley 2.
The lowest ranked side still left in the FA Cup are Redbridge, but as you can see on the video printer, it's all coming to an end this afternoon at the Broadfield Stadium. John Anderson is there.
Yes, it's their 8th cup tie. It began at Cockfosters on September the 3rd, but this is the swan song, a Matt Tubbs hat-trick for Crawley, 2 of them penalties, and a few moments ago, Andy Drury drilling in a 4th goal. They've had a couple of chances, Redbridge, when it was 2-0, they might have got back into it, but they've been punished really by the League Two opponents, who are very, very worthy winners. It's been a romantic run, but it is all over. Crawley 4, Redbridge 0.
There's been another goal at the Etihad Stadium, and when I tell you that it looks like the player who scored it has done it with his shoulder as a kind of trick, you might be able to guess who it was. Damien Johnson.
Mario Balotelli with one of the most audacious goals you'll ever see. He actually was close in, tapped the ball, it was saved by Ruddy, and it sort of popped up into the air, and there was Balotelli virtually on the goal line. He could have headed it, he could have waited it to fall and scored with his feet, but instead he just nonchalantly shrugged a shoulder at it and the ball went in. 4-1.
Oh, God, it's fun. It's fun.
Honestly, like him, loathe him, pure entertainment.
Pure entertainment, Garth.
Stupid Mario.
Why? What was wrong with that?
I think he's a liability. And the quicker they get him out of the club, I think the better for Manchester City fans. He's going to cost you at some stage of this season. City are supposed to be taken... If you want to be taken as a serious football club, then make sure your footballs are serious. Now, it might be funny, it might be a laughing joke, but at some stage, when it really matters, he will cost you.
Mancini said that himself, in fairness, in a press conference, didn't he? He said that he might cost him in a big game. Not today, though.
All right, in all that jumping around, I've completely pulled my earpiece out, so I'm blaming Mario Balotelli for that. But I do think we're going to Harry Gratian at the KC Stadium next. Stupid Mario. Harry.
I tell you what, this was a fantastic goal, I have to say, Mark. Robert Corran is the man who scored it, and Leicester have defended magnificently. Schmeichel's been superb. He could have no chance at all, though, with his 20-yard shot. Hull City are going to get the points now. Surely they lead 2-1 with about 2 minutes left.
OK, so what else has caught your eye in the Premier League at the moment? Norwich were giving it actually a good go at Manchester City until that point.
They were giving it a good go, but I have to say to you, match of the day tonight, Wigan-Arsenal. What a footballing lesson by Arsenal. Away from home. There's a stage in the game where Wigan are chasing shadows, literally chasing shadows.
And Spurs for me as well. I think the pace of Bale and Lennon has caused Bolton so many problems. I know they're down to 10 men and Cahill's been sent off, but it's been an exceptional performance going forward. Adebayor and Defoe could have had 3 each. It could have been 10 at White Hart Lane.
Let's go back into the Championship, shall we? It's Brighton against Nottingham Forest. Andy Barwell at the Amex.
Well, it remains 0-0 here, just 2 minutes to go. A good performance this from Nottingham Forest this afternoon, coming on the back of what was a heavy defeat in their last game. Certainly not the performance of a side who started the day in the drop zone. Some good chances here. Jonathan Greening's deflected cross had to be cleared from under his own bar by Kasper Ankergran. Gareth McCleary's goal-bound shot was also deflected over the bar, and Marcus Tudgay's also gone very, very close as well. In the first half, Brighton felt that they should have been awarded a penalty for a foul on Ashley Barnes, but nothing was given. It's Brighton 0, Nottingham Forest 0.
As you can see on the video printer, the final whistle has gone at the DW Stadium, all over. Wigan 0.
Beautifully, Arteta's really looking like a gunner's slayer these days. Gervinho clinched it with a third, tapping in after Van Persie's shot had been blocked. Robbie Van Persie made it for himself after excellent work from Theo Walcott. It finished in a consummate performance. Wigan 0, Arsenal 4.
It's all going wrong for Norwich at the Etihad Stadium. Another goal, Damien Johnson.
Yeah, it's turning into a rout this, Mark, because Adam Johnson, the second half substitute, has added a 5th goal. It's now 5-1. Picked the ball up just inside the area. Right-hand side, killed it, left-footed past Ruddy. It's now 5-1.
They've scored 48 goals now of Manchester City in the Premier League. Their goal difference is plus 35, which is double, more than double, the next best, which is Manchester United with plus 17.
Oh, that's entertainment.
And Mario Balotelli's at the heart of it.
And the guy who scored the most goals from over the last 2 seasons, Carlos Tevez, can't even get a look in at the football club.
But is this where we're at as a difference at the moment? Norwich went to Manchester United, a month ago, and Manchester United struggled. They nicked a win, whereas these sides are going to Manchester City, and City are steamrolling.
City look like they can beat teams quite comfortably, and they look like they've got another gear as well. And what they've got is people off the bench who can make a difference. We've seen Adam Johnson just come on now, and he's created the goal for Balotelli, scored the 5th. They've got people who can make a difference.
I'm just worried. I'm still not sure they can win a championship. When it comes to March and April, the business end of the season, can they close the deal?
You've got to say they're the team to beat, though, haven't you?
Yeah, it's theirs to lose. It's theirs to lose, but they've got to still do it.
You just saw it go through on the video printer there. Tamworth have scored a late winner, what looks like a late winner at Gateshead. Gateshead have been down to 10 men for a lot of that game in the FA Cup. Both sides in the Blue Square Bet Premier. Gateshead 1, Tamworth 2. Barnet have got one back against the MK Dons through their top scorer, Izzy McLeod. 16 for him this season. Final whistle has gone in the Premier League at Loftus Road. Mark Webber.
West Bromwich Albion 1. Mark, there was a 1957 film starring Hardy Kruger called The One That Got Away. Well, Hollywood has its remake right here. 1-0 up, it could have been 4-0 for QPR. The shocking misses by Joey Barton and Sean Wright-Phillips will cause endless hours of Twitter ribbing for Mrs. Barton and co. He shot wide, Wright-Phillips blundered a scissor kick at open goal. The Baggies were pushing, but left their shooting boots on the side until late in the game. Shane Long's post-side tap-in, giving them a worthy point if you take the possession figures into account. But those QPR blunders worth a Razzie, if not an Oscar. QPR 1, West Bromwich Albion 1.
I'm no body language expert, but Neil Warnock isn't happy, I don't think, about something. To Brighton next. A last-minute winner for someone, Andy Barwell.
Yes, well, possibly. We're into 3 minutes of stoppage time, and against the run of play, it's Brighton who have taken the lead. Will Buckley, the substitute, has coolly slotted the ball home. He took ages to take the chance, but he made it count. Nottingham Forest players out on their feet, looking so down. They've worked so hard in this game, but it looks like it's going to be all 3 points to Brighton. But here's a chance for Forest, but it's cleared from out of the 6-yard box by Brighton, and Mikhail Smith is leading the charge, but it's Brighton 1, Nottingham Forest 0.
All over at the Etihad Stadium, as we've been discussing.
In City's control, Norwich briefly threatened a comeback, and Morrison atoned for his miss, heading in to suggest something of a fight back from Norwich. The fight back never came, and then that Balotelli goal. His first effort was saved, the ball looped up into the air. It came back to him on the goal line, and with a sort of nonchalant shrug of the shoulders, he just nudged it over the goal line for the 4th goal. The 5th came when substitute Adam Johnson fired in from the edge of the box. It's comfortable in the end, 5-1.
Not as comfortable at Ewood Park, but Blackburn are off the bottom, much to Steve Keane's relief. James Mason.
Yes, they win 4-2 against Swansea, and 4 goals from striker Yakubu have given his side only their 2nd win of the season, and what a crucial feel-good factor win this could be for under-fire Steve Keane as boos turn to cheers at the full-time whistle. Yakubu's first came midway through the first half, a fine strike at the end of a flowing move, but less than 15 minutes later, Leroy Lita equalised for Swansea and cue the Keane out chance. But further goals from the Nigerian striker either side of half-time put Rovers into a comfortable lead. That was until Swansea's Luke Moore grabbed a second to give the visitors a fighting chance, but their comeback was swiftly thwarted as Joe Allen was sent off before Yakubu's 4th from the penalty spot. It's ended Mark Blackburn Rovers 4, Swansea City 2.
And still banners are being unveiled saying Keane out. To White Hart Lane next. Spurs have thumped Bolton. Jonathan Ledyard.
They have 3-0, but referee Stuart Atwell is going to dominate the match of the day analysis for 2 very, very odd decisions. But let's give credit to Spurs, who completely overwhelmed Bolton, as you say, with some wonderful fast-flowing football, which even without Gary Cahill's red card after 80 minutes, Owen Coyle's team would have been doing well to contain. Jääskeläinen did his best too with some stunning stops. It was only 1-0 at half-time after Gareth Bale opened the scoring, when it could have been, quite frankly, 10-0 at half-time. Then Lennon and Defoe gave the scoreline a far more realistic look. In between, Spurs had a clear penalty shout rejected. Bolton sinking, Spurs up to second.
Into the Championship, the leaders this afternoon were at Doncaster, and there's been a shock. Ivan Gaskell.
Yes, Doncaster's first win at home to Southampton since 1959, and how they deserved it. Southampton arrived here as leaders, but they leave with tails between legs. Make no mistake, Doncaster deserved this. The goal that won it came on the hour, and how deserved too for Billy Sharp, a great favourite here, of course. An hour in, Marc-Antoine Fortuné set it up with a fine run and pull back from the right. Sharp was sharp by name and nature. Southampton beaten and deserved to go home with nothing. Well done, Doncaster.
And it's a similar story at Upton Park. Second place West Ham have been beaten too. Mark Bishop.
Incredible result, Mark. West Ham 1, Burnley 2. Burnley's first league win at Upton Park since 1973. It's left another big Upton Park crowd somewhat shell-shocked after West Ham had totally dominated this one right up until Kevin Nolan had put West Ham ahead with an exquisite lob. Then, for some reason, the Hammers capitulated. Bullet headers from McCann and Vokes put West Ham all over the place at the back, put Burnley into the ascendancy. Burnley then up against it. Collison and Cole both hit the post. Wallace somehow threw his body in the way of Piquion's goal-bound effort. Burnley, though, held on. Well done to them. A good win. They're third on the bounce. West Ham 1, Burnley 2.
So I said that Brighton goal was the winner. Did it turn out that way, Andy Barwell?
Yes, it did. Brighton have snatched the victory here. Rough luck on Nottingham Forest, who come with a game plan, and it looked like it had really worked. Steve Cottrell had really set his side out well for this game. They created plenty of chances too, but they weren't able to take them. But Brighton were. Deep into stoppage time, Will Buckley, the substitute, he slotted the ball home, and Gus Poyet, the Brighton manager, knew his team had got away with it here. 4 wins in 5 now for Brighton. Brighton 1, Nottingham Forest 0.
And just like at Brighton, there was late drama at Hull. Harry Gratian.
Certainly was. Hull deserved this, Mark, as well, despite Leicester's great effort. Down to 10 men when Mills was sent off after 30 minutes. They struggled manfully after that. Frye's penalty following that incident gave Hull the lead. Konchelski equalised on 40, but the second half was all City. Schmeichel was brilliant until the 88th minute. Robert Corran crashing in the decisive goal.
As far as Ipswich are concerned, their dreadful run continues. They've now lost their last 7. Robin Bailey.
Yes, a 7th straight defeat. It hasn't happened for 17 years, you know, and that was the year that they went down and lost 9-0 to Man United. Well, Keith Andrews headed Ipswich ahead in the last minute of the first half, but after a frantic start to the second half, 2 goals in 4 minutes darkened the mood at Portman Road. A penalty for Marvin Sordell after Troy Deeney was felled, the substitute by Sonko. Lovely 1-2 by Kitely there, and Deeney himself profited from awful defending to make it 2-1. Ipswich had 3 efforts cleared off the line late on, but Paul Jewell is under Steve Keane type pressure now. It's 2-1 defeat for Ipswich here.
And as we approach 5 o'clock on Final Score, it is time for the classified football results here on BBC One with Mike West.
Starting with the Barclays Premier League, the game between Aston Villa and Manchester United is an evening kick-off at 5:30. Blackburn Rovers 4, Swansea City 2, Manchester City 5, Norwich City 1, Newcastle United 0, Chelsea 3, Queen's Park Rangers 1, West Brom 1, Tottenham Hotspur 3, Bolton Wanderers 0, Wigan Athletic 0, Arsenal 4. In the Empire Championship, Blackpool 1, Reading 0. Brighton and Hove Albion 1, Nottingham Forest 0. Bristol City against Middlesbrough is an evening kick-off at 5:20. Doncaster Rovers 1, Southampton 0. Hull City 2, Leicester City 1. Ipswich Town 1, Watford 2. Leeds United 2, Millwall 0. Peterborough United 3, Barnsley 4. Portsmouth 2, Coventry City 1. and West Ham United 1, Burnley 2. The FA Cup with Budweiser, second round. Barnet 1, Milton Keynes Dons 3. Bradford City 3, AFC Wimbledon 1. Brentford 0, Wrexham 1. Charlton Athletic 2, Carlisle United 0. Chelmsford City 1, Macclesfield Town 1. Colchester United 0, Swindon Town 1. Crawley Town 5, Redbridge 0. Dagenham and Redbridge 1, Walsall 1. Gateshead 1, Tamworth 2. Leyton Orient 0, Gillingham 1. Luton 2, Cheltenham Town 4. And Salisbury City 0, Grimsby Town 0. Continuing with the FA Cup second round, Sheffield United 3, Torquay United 2. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Aldershot Town 0. Shrewsbury Town 2, Rotherham United 1. Southend United 1, Oldham Athletic 1 is a latest score, a delayed second half kick-off there. And Stourbridge 0, Stevenage 3. On to the Blue Square Bet Premier. Barrow 1, Ebbsfleet United 1. Bath City 3, AFC Telford United 1. Darlington 0, Forest Green Rovers 0. Mansfield Town 4, Braintree Town 1. Newport County 1, Lincoln City 0. Southport 2, Alfreton Town 1. And York City 7, Kettering Town 0. The Clydesdale Bank Scottish Premier League, Hearts 1, St Johnstone 2. Kilmarnock 2, Aberdeen 0. Rangers 2, Dunfermline 1. And St Mirren 1, Inverness Caledonian Thistle 2. The Irn-Bru Scottish Division 1, Falkirk 1, Greenock Morton 0. Hamilton Academical 1, Dundee 6. Partick Thistle 2, Livingston 1. Queen of the South 4, Ayr United 1. And Ross County 4, Wraith Rovers 2. The Scottish Division 2, Albion Rovers 3, Cowdenbeath 3. Arbroath 1, Brecon City 1. Dumbarton 1, Forfar Athletic 1. East Fife 1, Stenhouse Muir 3. And Stirling Albion 1, Edinburgh United 4. Scottish Division 3, Berwick Rangers 0, Clyde 2. East Stirlingshire 1, Annan Athletic 0. Elgin City 1, Stranraer 1. Montrose 1, Alloa Athletic 1. And Queen's Park 1, Peterhead 1. Finally, the Carling Premiership, Carrick 2, Glenavon 2. Donegal Celtic 0, Coleraine 1. Dungannon Swifts 1, Cliftonville 4. Glentoran 3, Lisbon Distillery 3. Linfield 1, Ballymena United 0. And Portadown 1, Crusaders 3.
One late kick-off for you, and it's in the second round of the FA Cup with Budweiser, and it's finished Southend 1, Oldham 1. So the League Two leaders holding the League One side. It goes to a replay. Manchester City's 12th win in 14 games means they are now 7 points clear at the top of the Premier League. Tottenham rise to second, but Manchester United will leapfrog them and trim City's lead if they beat Aston Villa in the tea-time kick-off. Chelsea are fourth after that win at Newcastle. Arsenal also climb above Alan Pardew's men. They're now fifth. At the bottom, Wigan dropped to the foot of the table after losing today. Bolton are just above them on goal difference. Blackburn climbed 2 places to 18th and are now just a point from safety. Into the Championship, West Ham failed to capitalise on the shock defeat for leaders Southampton by suffering a surprise loss of their own to Burnley, meaning it is as you were at the top. Third place Cardiff play Birmingham tomorrow. Middlesbrough are in action in tonight's late kick-off. At the bottom, Doncaster's win over Southampton helps them leapfrog Coventry at the bottom. As far as the Blue Square Bet Premier is concerned, the top two are in action in the FA Cup, allowing Southport and York to close the gap. Bottom club Bath City picked up only their second win of the season and are now only a point behind Alfreton. In the SPL, Rangers have extended their lead to 7 points over Celtic. The Hoops, they have the chance to close the gap when they play Dundee United tomorrow. Inverness are off the bottom and up to 9th thanks to a win over St Mirren and defeats for Aberdeen and Dunfermline. Those are the tables. Here are the headlines from this afternoon's Premier League action. Ruthless Spurs show no mercy to 10-man Bolton, who controversially had Gary Cahill sent off. They're unbeaten in 11, equalling their best run in the Premier League. Yakubu savages the Swans. 4 goals for the Nigerian. Ease the pressure on Rovers boss Steve Keane. Arsenal cruised equaliser from Shane Long earns West Brom a point at Loftus Road. How do you sum up this afternoon, Garth?
An afternoon full of goals, great entertainment at Wigan and at Spurs. Thoroughly enjoyed those 2 games. And Blackburn have finally closed the game, where now they look as though they're in contention and they've got, some heart to try and get a couple more wins.
The teams at the top have been very impressive today. Man City, Spurs, Arsenal and Chelsea winning at Newcastle 3-0 as well, which puts a little bit of pressure on Man United, who take to the field against Aston Villa very shortly as well. So I think the top teams have played well today as well.
Tell you what, mate, it doesn't half sum up the Premier League, does it? I mean, you've got 6 goals at Manchester City, 3 at Spurs, 6 at Blackburn, 3 at Newcastle, 4 at Wigan. I mean, goals are flying in this season. Yeah. And games are very difficult to call a lot of the time.
Yeah, although some of them not so. I mean, as we say, Man City, I think, have been very impressive. The goal from Aguero was one that you particularly liked. I thought it was a great finish. He twisted and turned in the box and put it through a couple of legs, didn't he, into the corner. But we've got some terrific talent in the Premier League. Some great goal scorers. Perhaps the defending at times hasn't been great. Gary Cahill today, very unfortunate to be sent off against Spurs. Spurs could actually have scored 10 today. They were that impressive for me.
Yeah. For me, Daniel Sturridge, very, very impressive at Chelsea. And as Andre Villas-Boas, has he got the character, has he got the bottle to phase out the old and start bringing in the new? I'm talking about Mata Lukaku, people like that. I think Chelsea have got a chance.
Big afternoon then it has been for Steve Keane, for Andre Villas-Boas. Match of the day, 10:05 tonight on BBC One. If you want to react to any of the games today, then ring myself and Jason Roberts, 6:06 on 5 Live from 6:06. We are on the red button if you want more reaction from the managers and more discussion with us. But from here of us on BBC One, bye-bye.